Alright, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be talking about Season 3 for Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Now, it's kind of hard to believe that Season 2 only has about a month left according to the Battle Pass, and it's going to be ending somewhere around April 22nd. And while there is still a very high probability that we still have yet to get a lot of content for Season 2 Reloaded, if they're planning on doing one of those, we still have to be looking ahead towards Season 3 because it's really only about a month away. Season 1, comparatively, was about double the length as far as time to Season 2. So Season 3 is going to be here a lot sooner than we're all expecting, and today we're going to be talking about everything that we currently know about this upcoming season, some speculation about what's going to be involved, and potentially even some things for Season 2 or even after. If you guys enjoyed the video at any point or are excited for Season 3 for Cold War Zombies, then be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel so you don't miss any more videos like this. Honestly, Treyarch has done a pretty good job of keeping everything as far as what they're planning for future seasons well hidden, or at least to a point where we knew more about Season 2 at this point than we do about Season 3, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. First, I want to talk a little bit about new Outbreak content because this is the most up-in-the-air, unpredictable piece of the puzzle that we have yet to contend with. If you've watched any of my videos within the past week or two, you'll know that new Outbreak content is already confirmed by Treyarch, and they've told us a fair bit about what's going to be happening, such as a main Easter egg, different side quests you can do, as well as new maps and new locations, new challenges to play. We know pretty much all of that already. One thing we didn't know was what the Easter egg is going to entail, what new maps are going to be added, and why. Obviously, for the most part, Outbreak is supposed to take place in the Ural Mountains, and there's a few other locations that are within this region that we haven't seen in Outbreak, namely Sanatorium, which is supposedly going to be added to Outbreak at one point or another, or at least is being considered. We do know that Treyarch did say that from here on out, they don't really want to blend the Fireteam maps into Outbreak, and they want to make their own unique play spaces for it. And I was looking at some of the early promotional material before Outbreak came out, and there was a really interesting detail that one of the articles said, and they were mentioning that if Outbreak was a success, then they would have no problem continuing to develop content for it and take new risks and experiment and add new play spaces and everything like that. Outbreak was not guaranteed to be a success for Treyarch, and it's looking like they wanted to see how the community would respond to this and how its reception was before deciding to move forward with content. So it's like they probably didn't have this whole entire huge thing planned out from the beginning and where they're going to be taking Outbreak. They wanted to see if it even lands first, and as far as I'm concerned, Outbreak is a resounding yes from the community. So with that in mind, it looks like Treyarch is moving forward with developing some, pretty large-scale projects for Outbreak. Now, are they going to be adding Sanatorium, which is the already developed map for Fireteam, into this mode? I think it is absolutely possible, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do, alongside some other play spaces that are not currently developed for Outbreak. They decide to add the main Easter egg in a Season 2 Reloaded, which there is some credence to that theory so far, and I could see them adding Sanatorium as the fourth play space to this, alongside the main quest, which is heavily involved in that map. That main Easter egg is most likely going to tell the story of how Valentina secured the technology in order to open up the Dark Ether portals in Berlin and in East Germany, where the next traditional Zombies map is going to be taking place. As everything seen in Outbreak is canon, all of the technology, the special enemies, the storyline, everything is related to one another. So if they're wanting to move in chronological order and sort of bridge this gap in the storyline, it's almost like they have to release the Outbreak Easter egg first, at least for it to make sense in that way, unless they want to go back and retroactively correct what happened. Basic idea of Outbreak is that Requiem and Omega are pitted against each other and are sort of just effortlessly fighting while Valentina actually secures the real technology and is able to release the Nazis in Germany. Outbreak also has the most potential out of any game mode right now currently in Cold War Zombies to do something huge and to really do something groundbreaking, as it already has. Something compared to like Onslaught, which for all intents and purposes compared to Outbreak is kind of a joke. I really don't think they're going to spend a lot of development time on that. And due to the detail mentioned earlier that Treyarch didn't really know if Outbreak was going to do all that well, and odds are if it didn't, they probably would have stopped development there. But now they probably feel a lot more comfortable to move forward, giving credence to why I do think there is a reasonable probability Transit becomes part of Outbreak at some point. They probably have a lot of these assets ready to go, and we're maybe debating whether they should use this in a traditional Zombies map or save it for something a bit more experimental like Outbreak. And now that the fact that they know it kind of works and most of the community is fairly receptive to this and we just, want more to do in it, I think it would make sense to re-implement these features here. This is one of those things that I feel like will happen a little bit farther down the road. With Season 3, I do believe that we might see Sanatorium as well as some other locations that still have yet to be discussed, but Transit is probably the one that I think you should really keep your eye on. There also is a possibility that they utilize Transit in both Outbreak and as a traditional Zombies map, and I don't know if they're they're going to go that route, and to be honest, I think that is a little bit more unlikely than just seeing it in Outbreak, but you guys can let me know your opinions if you think they're going to utilize it and in what way. I think it also goes without saying we do have the Tempest special enemy in Outbreak, which is basically the same function as the Avogadro. Obviously, while those things aren't necessarily correlated, it is interesting to point out the links between the two. Whatever they decide to do, as far as when this content is going to be released, I can almost guarantee it's going to be before the release of the next Real Zombies map. If they are doing a Season 2 Reloaded, considering if they even have enough time, I think it will probably be added by then. If not, probably at the beginning of Season 3, and then the next Real Zombies map, the Berlin map, will take place maybe in Season 3 Reloaded. Now, speaking of the next Zombies map, of course, I've made a bunch of videos detailing this, and this is probably the last time we're going to speak about this map until we actually have a real teaser for it, but obviously, the information that we had from a couple months ago supposedly says that this map is called Mar der Toten. Just to briefly recap, a lot of people think that this is going to be including parts of Kino and Verrückt as maybe a centerpiece to it, similar to Die Maschine. Again, I still don't believe this to be the case. I do think it will be entirely original, but we still have yet to see that. If you're looking for a really detailed explanation on what this new map is going to entail, then I recommend go watch one of my previous videos explaining all of that. However, there was a pretty important detail that I forgot to mention in regards to this, and we don't know if this is going to be included on the Berlin map, but before the game came out, there were leaks about a new special enemy type that was called a Summoner Zombie, and clearly, we haven't seen anything like that in Die Maschine, Firebase Z, or even Outbreak, and I think that there is maybe a small chance this Summoner Zombie enemy type could be added in this new Berlin map. Realistically, the only link I can make between that and what we know about the Berlin map is the fact that the Nazis maybe have different ether portals or some kind of method for summoning other zombies as well. Now, you can see in this calling card that there is what appears to be like more of a boss zombie surrounded by other like default or regular zombies, and of course, I'm not going to say the name of what appears to be in the middle, but you can make your own inferences, and I'm sure you all know what I'm getting at. Potentially, this could be like the version of the Summoner Zombie that can spawn other like smaller ones around you. Again, to be honest, that is a complete shot in the dark, but it's something I'm trying to piece together. Realistically, though, we will probably see Richthofen or Eddie on this map. We're probably going to have a confrontation with Kravchenko or Valentina, and also Samantha Maxis is, of course, going to be fundamentally involved in this map. So it looks like a lot of the characters that were maybe cut out of the storyline, or so we thought, at the end of Black Ops 4 are now canonically coming back together. And this gives the possibility that potentially even the transit crew at the end of Tag der Toten, everybody involved in that ending could somehow converge back into the storyline for one reason or another and make sense in this particular separated universe. And that even makes more sense when you consider the fact that they could be reusing transit for Outbreak in some form or fashion. Also, there is a new map coming called Echelon, and this is something, again, the community's known about for a little while. Now, this will be probably an Outbreak map, all things considered, for zombies. There's even some hints in some of the intel that point towards this location, but it's going to be primarily a multiplayer map, and there is some actual, visuals of this map that you can find on Google. I cannot show it in this video, but I'm sure if you're tech savvy enough, you can type something into a Google search bar, and you can probably find it if you're curious. But there is a map that is coming that's very similar to like Dome from MW3, and it has elements of Vertigo from Black Ops 2. We don't know where this is going to take place in the storyline and what it's going to mean for zombies, and as far as we know, this is going to be released at the beginning of Season 3 for sure. As far as new score streaks and new weapons, there are a few that we haven't seen in the game yet that have already been shown off, namely the flamethrower that was revealed in some promotional material. Now, it's technically in the game, but the player cannot use it. Obviously, the Panzer Soldat inside of Outbreak can use it, but we cannot yet. So I assume that will probably be added maybe within this season. The Annihilator or the hand cannon and also the strafe run are supposedly going to be streaks added as well. And so far, all of the streaks that were added to multiplayer have thus been added to zombies too. Now, evidently, another new specialist has been leaked, and currently all of the assets are attached to Black Ops 4 models and things like that, but the barbed wire score streak in BO4 evidently has some kind of crossover as a field upgrade potentially in zombies. Again, it's likely going to be completely reworked if it's going to be in the game at all. It was one of those things though where I thought Frenzied Guard was cut from the game and then they added it this very season. I do believe we are yet to see some new specialist abilities as well as new perks and even a further expanded upgrade system. However, that's not going to be in Season 3. Those are things we'll get into further in future videos after Season 3 releases and we know a little bit more about the future of where they're taking the game. Currently, there is a zombie outbreak happening in Warzone, and I usually stay away from a lot of the Warzone stuff because I know a lot of players on this channel just don't really care about that kind of thing. Personally, I don't play Warzone hardly at all, only to when it's relevant for zombies. There is some indication, though, that some of the events happening in Warzone have a spillover effect or or have some kind of relevance in zombies and what's going to be happening next. And if zombies are taking over Verdansk and they're getting a new map and things are happening, it's possible that these things could, mutually affect each other. It's hard to say for sure, but Season 2 definitely felt to be a bit more zombies focused in terms of, the actual zombies mode, multiplayer, and of course Warzone. Season 3, I highly doubt is going to be that heavily honed in on zombies as a mode, but that's not to say it's still not going to continue to get love, as it seems to be completely the opposite of Treyarch's past behavior as far as other Call of Duty games. Zombies is getting more love now than it ever has been, and despite it not being maybe the main focus for this season, it's still probably going to see a very good amount of content. Currently, there's probably a ton of things under wraps that we don't even currently know about, that when Season 3 arrives closer, which again is really not that far away at all, I will have more information to update you guys on, and I'm very excited to get my hands on Season 3. I would love to know what you guys are most excited about. Are you excited about the new Outbreak content or the new traditional zombies map in Berlin, or are you excited for stuff beyond Season 3? I would love to know how you're feeling about the game currently. If you guys did end up enjoying the video, however, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel, that would be awesome, and make sure to go follow me on Twitch where I stream zombies almost every single day. I'd love to have you over there as part of the community. Links in the description down below. Other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next stream or the next video. Take it easy, I gotta go, and peace out.